Hello, I'm Dr. Michael Kessler, and we're back again for the next episode on the new HeartQuest Professional platform. This is part 5, and we're going to be talking about trending. And to me, that's one of the most important of the parameters that we have here to track. So we can see exactly how our patients are moving over time in different parameters. And if you go to the trending screen on the red side, you'll see it there, it says trend. You click on that, and then you punch in the starting date that you want to start your trending. Usually it's probably going to be the first visit you actually saw your patient, right? And then you have the end date. And if you're doing a lot of tests, you have their quick select, their last 10 visits, last 25 visits, last 50 visits. So that's on the right there. And usually you're going to go down and it's going to give you, you could trend on the nervous system, on the hormones, on the minerals. But I usually just work within the nervous system. And it says there, on this one, it's checked off SDNN. I usually check only one at a time. So it's not so much, convoluted with a lot of different lines running through there. I just want to look at one at a time. Usually SDNN, RMSSD, total power, stress index, inflammation. And those are the ones that I'm going to trend in this particular case. That said, here we go. So before I move further, I'm going to do a little disclaimer here. This is for educational research purposes only. The information presented is designed to explore the autonomic nervous system, adaptability, physiologic stress patterns, cardiovascular regulation, heart rate variability research, systems-based physiologic interpretation. This material does not diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The concepts and discussions presented are educational, investigational, research-oriented, intended for professional learning and scientific discussion. So there you go. And again, what I'm saying is don't copy anything on this without permission from me, without, going into too much depth. You can read that on the right. And here we go. So we're going to start with a real person. And we have permission from Miriam to show this. And again, she is a breast cancer patient and she's doing conventional care. She's doing whole cat therapy. And we're going to show you exactly how she's doing and what she's doing. Okay? So it's not balance that determines health. It's the ability to adapt and recover. We all know that. And we're going to take a look at that and how well she's able to adapt and recover by looking at the trending screen. So here it is here. And she's an amazing patient because she's a practitioner. She's been doing a lot of mind-body medicine for a long, long time. And we'll see that reflect in her test. And I think she's going to do really, really well based on the fact that she's already, she eats right, she exercises, does a lot of mind-body medicine. She has invasive carcinoma of the left breast, grade 1, estrogen receptor positive, progesterone receptor positive, HER2 negative, and associated ductal carcinoma in situ. And her clinical stage is right there. And her current care and treatment is oncology under the care of an oncology team. She's doing HOCAT therapy, integrated hypothermia treatment, supportive care, nutritional support, stress management, and lifestyle optimization. And she's getting monitored on the HeartQuest Professional to see the direction that she's moving in. She has quite a history of, stress, and you can kind of take a quick look on that. But what I found that was really interesting, she had a lot of separation issues. She was adopted, and then when she was moved into a home, she was separated again, and there was a whole series of different ways that she was separated. And that's kind of interesting if you follow German new medicine, and that particular type of cancer is involved from Gerd Hammer in German new medicine with separation issues. Thought that was pretty interesting. So here we go. When we look at her basic baseline HQP, if you look at the SDNN, and I wrote it here on the left so it's easy to see, it's 49.1 and the range is 49 to 70. So she's at the lower end of optimal, okay? And so she's still able to adapt and be able to offset stress because she's got a decent SDNN, right? And her RMSSD, her ability to repair and recover, 27.0, and there's the range 25 to 50 plus, but she's within optimal range. Her total power is really high, and that's really good. So she has plenty of energy reserves to be able to adapt and change. Her stress index is 81.7, 10 to 100 is the range. So she's within normal range there, and her ability to, the stress index is how much stress you have on that nervous system. It's pretty good. And the inflammatory index is also in the upper end of the normal range. So despite tremendous life stresses, her autonomic nervous system was still compensating well. So that's a really, really important aspect of how she's going to fare with this particular disease, right? So when we look at the trending, remember I said I just want to do one at a time. So when I select SDNN because in the medical literature, that's a great prognosticator, that particular SDNN value there. And you can see higher is better. She's moving in the right direction, right? And those therapies that you see there is the HOCAT technology. And it dropped a little bit and then went back up and then dropped a little bit. So we want to talk about that just as we go through this. But even when she drops, those numbers are still within range, which is a good thing. So this is a testament to what she's been doing for herself for a long time. And RMSSD, her ability to recover, rest and digest and parasympathetic vagal tone and all that good stuff is going up. Drops a little bit, goes back up. Even when it drops, though, you'll be able to click on the little, put your cursor on those little red dots there, and it will tell you what the value is, but she's still within range. And the same thing here when we look at total power. So going up. And that's a good thing. Of course, it drops a little bit, and we're going to be tracking her, and hopefully we'll see that going back up and staying up that way. And then we go here to the stress index. What do we want to see with the stress index? We want to see that dropping. Instead of going up, we want to see that coming down, and that's what we're seeing here, right? The same with the inflammatory index. We want to see that going down, and it is. So in this case, we see the drop after a session with HOCAT. If we see the trend screen drop and going down, is that bad? Well, if it rebounds back up the next day, that is good. If it does not rebound, the therapy may need to be used for less time. And, we may have to shorten the gap between therapies. So less time and longer gaps, right, between therapy. And so you'll be able to use your therapies and you'll be able to see that. Maybe the therapy is dropping her a little bit. Maybe she's a little tired that day, whatever it may be, and it brings her down. But does it bring her back up? Does it rebound the next day, right? If not, maybe, again, we need to alter the way we use that therapy if we're going to use it, right? So this is so valuable. This is what I use on all my patients that have been with me for a long period of time to make sure, instead of looking at one parameter, or, usually you look at the pi and you look at total power and SDN and you look at all that stuff in one shot. This is much easier to use to be able to see over time how your therapies are holding out and how well they're working for that patient. So there you go. So one test is a snapshot. Trending shows the direction. The question is no longer just where is the patient today? The question becomes where are they going? So we want to be able to do that. And this is really the ultimate tracker of the direction someone's health is going. And I want to thank you for listening today.